Hello, Brick Lane family. My name is Buddy Colmery, and I am the leader of men's ministry. And this has been a crazy year between the running with the bulls in Spain, the power washing of Mount Rushmore, the releveling of the Panama Canal. All three of these just examples of events that we didn't do. And quite honestly, we had no intention to do. But that, believe it or not, is a segue into what I want to share with you guys. A lot of times men's ministry is viewed as being very event-driven, that we will do something, have a breakfast or whatever, and then seemingly not a whole lot going on, then have another event. And the council, men's council, has been working with this and kind of wrestling with this for a while. And now we've had wonderful events. We've had breakfasts and dinners and retreats over the years where God has been honored and men have been moved and relationships have developed. And most recently, we actually had a couple of different fellowship and prayer nights with ice cream. That's a good thing. And we had a service project up at Spruce Lake where we did some lumberjack work up there. So, but we have been talking again on the council about how can we do a better job of equipping and encouraging our guys on a more consistent basis. So, follow me on the chronology a little bit, but we were in the midst of this discussion back in, I'm going to go back to fall of 2019, and at that time somebody had approached me about a book called No Man Left Behind, which really talks about men's ministry, and it provides some methodologies to different concepts and questions and challenges in regards to men's ministry. And so I read it and found it very compelling, and around the same time we actually identified a seminar that was being held about an hour away from here at a church. So a couple of the guys on council joined me. We went to the workshop, spent a day there kind of working through the whole men's ministry and No Man Left Behind methodology. We're very impressed with their humble approach, the love that they have for guys, how they use scripture in terms of what they do. So we came back very energized and we presented it to the rest of the council, again, back in fall of 2019. And we decided to embark on a book study. So we did that. Each of the guys had a book. We read 2 to 3 chapters every month, got together, kind of talked about the concepts and challenges. Some of the approaches we very much enjoyed and appreciated from the book, and we thought, yeah, let's embrace those. Other ones we felt, maybe it's not so good of a fit for us. So we navigated through that. That brought us through February of 2020. We got everything together. We finished the book, had all of our thoughts together about how we wanted to then jump off into what we thought men's ministry would look like here. We actually scheduled a workshop for April 2nd. That was going to be a half-day workshop to get together. And then, we had the shutdown. So at that time, we had opted I chose not to try to do it via Zoom. I felt it was too important, that we really want to have the personal interaction. So everything kind of got delayed for a while. And then finally, at the end of last year, we got together, brainstorming, brought everything back together again, and we have now come to the point of having a ministry model, which we're going to unveil to you momentarily. But before I do, a brief aside, I mentioned the Men's Council a couple of different times here previously. I just wanted to share what that is. It's a group of guys, about 11 right now. We're trying to get a couple more, who we are the ones who lead the men's ministry efforts. And if I may, let me just share with you the all-star cast here. Jack Atkins, Matt Carter, Bob Colmery, Dawson Estes, Rich Faber, Paul Frisco, Pat Grab, Mike Kurtz, Dick Oswald, and Ben Pupek. That's a great group of guys, and they love God, and they love men, and it's been an honor and a privilege serving alongside them. And some of the guys are more process-oriented about organizational stuff. Others, I'll say, are more community-oriented about how we try to woo and engage guys. And when we get together to discuss, as opposed to being contradictory, what we have found is, as often is the case, is very complementary and iron sharpening iron kinds of stuff going on. So we've developed a ministry model, and a discipleship model through that process, which is much more holistic than me just sitting at my desk trying to figure it out. Two other pieces about the council. We try to be about 2 things. One is about praying, and the other is about preparing. And about praying, we wrestle. We can always do better. We try to do it in a couple of different ways, but one of them, be encouraged that if you're a guy who's a member at Brick Lane or are an active attender, your name is on a list of one of the guys on council. And so at least twice a month, we've committed to praying for you by name. And I hope that that encourages you. Hopefully God is using that in your life. The other thing is we want to be about is preparing. Part of it is preparing for, yes, for events and service projects, and yes, we want logistically things to flow and not be distracting, but more importantly, we want to be preparing our guys for their journey in terms of how they're growing in their faith. So that brings me to the grand unveiling of what is our discipleship model. So starting this fall, we're going to be offering a series of opportunities for guys to get involved that's going to focus on mentoring, and it's going to focus on encouraging guys to take the next step in their walk. That's it. You probably expected more, didn't you, after all that build-up? There are a lot of details, but this is what's known in the biz as a teaser. So we're just kind of letting you know that this is coming next month. There'll be all kinds of communication coming out, sharing with you the hows and the whys and all that type of thing. But we're excited to share that with you. So that's what the discipleship is going to look like. There's a bunch of moving parts to that, as you can imagine. Again, stay tuned. And if I can come full circle back to where I started with events, the other aspect of men's ministry is we're trying to be much more intentional now with marrying up the events that we have with the discipling that we're going to embark on, so that one leads into the other, and we'll see how God uses that. Let me just end with two parting thoughts, if I may. Through the course of my chat here, I've mentioned book studies and workshops and seminars and blah, 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 and all these different mechanisms going on. But please know that at the heart of what we're trying to do is approach this with a very open hand in terms of this model. We do not want to have, and we're not asking for God to try to endorse our plans as we charge ahead in our own human thoughts and abilities. We very much are excited about and humbled by the opportunity to be a part of what God clearly wants to do here at Brick Lane. So we're excited about that. And then if I may, I'm just going to end with the last point. There's a scripture verse that's often tied to men's ministries from 1 Corinthians, and it's tied to men's ministry for a very good reason. If I may, be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. And that's what we want to be about. Thanks, family.